speaking of just, putting things out there and getting what you deserve, I feel like the downfall of Wendy Williams is like that story, like the epitome of that lesson.
You think?
I just want to really drill this in. I cannot express to you how much I loved Wendy Williams. I got the how you do it. I can really do it. I used to record her like Wendy. I watched her daily. That was my girl. Her downfall is crazy, but I do believe you build a career pointing out everybody's flaws and what they're doing wrong and making people kiki about other people's misfortunes. It was entertaining. It was cute. You were great at it. But now a lot of people can have a lot to say about you.
Yeah.
A lot. Because you don't have I don't even know if she has access to her money. She didn't for a really long time. I don't know if that changed. Lord knows her husband cheated on her, left her for the mistress, took half her money. They didn't have a prenup. And now he's trying to get more money because he's broke too. I heard terrible things about him as well, just living in LA.
And worst of all, she's very, very sick. Like very sick. I forget I think it's Graves' disease is what she has. But if you see her first of all, where is Wendy? Well, there has not been a Wendy sighting in about 200 and something days.
Such an exaggeration.
Can we please find Wendy? No, seriously, she has not been seen or heard. And it's one, I love her so much. So it worries me.
Look up to her.
But that's what a lot of people are saying. Is this her karma for being such a nasty person to so many people? Nobody deserves to have a disease. I don't deserve to have lupus. Nobody deserves to get cheated on. And, but did she have it coming because of how much negativity she put out into the world?
So I know y'all know that Wendy Williams got frontal lobe dementia and aphasia and shit. But everybody is giving her not everybody, but mad people is giving her condolences and shit. I thought she was a bad person. I thought that this was her karma. Because she was always talking shit about people on her talk show. I'm sorry, but all the shit that Wendy Williams talked, that is her karma. That is her fucking karma. All tea, no shade.
The same thing that creators are trying to do on this app with giving their opinions and commentary on pop culture topics is exactly what Wendy Williams was doing with the whole ass talk show. So what is this karma that y'all speak of? She really put in so much work in her journalism career. If you actually look into her career journey, it's very impressive, especially as a Black woman.
Wendy Williams is not cursed from eating a crow, nor is she receiving her karma from being mean. It's called dementia, and it's a direct result of how you eat and your lifestyle choices. Apparently, dementia takes years and years to fully develop, and there are warning signs, and I believe we saw some of those on air with Wendy Williams. For instance, one of the warning signs is memory loss and forgetting what you're saying mid-sentence.
Actually, there are emails alleging that Chloe and Kylie leaked the emails allegedly.
Also, cognitive blackouts and passing out is another sign of onset dementia.
Our first caress.
And agitation and low response to stress.
Oh my God. I can't. Oh my God, I gotta do that thing for Nickelodeon. Oh my God. I love you for watching that.
These are just a few outward signs of dementia developing. If you have an older loved one and you think that they may have dementia and you see these signs, you should urge them to get checked out right away before it progresses to the point of no return. As far as karma, I don't think Wendy Williams' health is karma. Her health is a direct response of how she treats her body. Her karma is probably her team and how they're doing her. I really pray for Wendy Williams. Shout out to her. I hope she gets better.
everyone, it's Brie. Welcome back to my channel. I'm back in another video, and I am here to talk about Wendy Williams. So, for those of y'all who may not be aware, even though I'm sure that you are if you clicked on this video, Wendy Williams is a really popular pop culture figure. She's been in entertainment for the longest. You know, she used to start out back in the day in radio, and then she eventually worked her way into getting her own show, which essentially her claim to fame is that she covers a lot of trending topics, right? I mean, obviously when she had her talk show, she did different things, as all talk shows do, right? You know, you have your hot topics segment, you have your, you know, audience segment, and then you have, you know, guests and interviews and things like that. So she had the typical format, but what she was really known for was her hot topics. And she's always been known to be very messy. Messy is probably an understatement. But she's known to be very messy, talk about trending news, but she's also been known to feed into rumors that may or may not have been true or backed by, you know, reputable information. She's been known to talk down on people a lot. She's been known to just be very negative. You know, her platform isn't the type of platform where she's sitting there uplifting people, right? Like, you go to her for the mess, you go to her for the drama, and she definitely would feed into that drama. Now, a lot of people say that, you know, with that type of content, right, people would often say that Wendy Williams was the type of person that would say stuff out loud that people would be afraid to say, right? So she would be the person that, you know, you might have a thought in your head that you're like, this would be really messed up if I said it out loud, I'm gonna just keep it here. She would say it. Like, she would actually verbally say things that you probably just shouldn't say, and she would critique people a lot, whether it was people's weight, people's relationships, people's marriages, people's health issues. I can't even begin to list off and name every single problematic thing that she would talk about and that she would cover on her show. But I think it's safe to say that she just overall was into all of the mess, into all of the gossip. And I'm actually somebody that watched Wendy Williams religiously. Like, I watched her show literally every single day. I didn't really watch it like on cable television because she would always post her hot topics on her YouTube channel, as well as her interviews as well. So I watched her interviews and her hot topics on YouTube. Same way with The Real. I watched The Real like every single day, but I would watch it through their YouTube clips. I wouldn't watch it through the actual programming. And so, you know, I've watched Wendy over the years, and like I said, she's been notorious for being messy. A lot of people would stay away from going on her show, like basically like celebrities and well-known people. Like, a lot of people would not go on the Wendy Williams show because they knew that she was going to come with the mess. She was going to ask them questions that they didn't want to be asked. And like I said, she would say some really wild, out there stuff. Like, I just seen a clip the other day of when Fantasia came on her show, and trigger warning, she was asking her about her, but the way that she asked her about it was very insensitive. I think that's the best way that I can describe her interview style. She's very blunt. She's very in your face.
Since we here, let's clean it all
Yes! Fantasia, allegedly, you took a fistful of aspirin and went in the closet in your bedroom?
Yeah.
Fantasia. Did you think about your daughter?
Can I get some tissue?
I always have some at the ready because I'm a crier. We cry here on the show.
Where are they?
Here they are.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
At the time, I wasn't really thinking about anybody.
Yeah.
Because the part about it is nobody knows how heavy it gets. That's what I was saying. You see the glitz and the glamour, and you think they got it. They got it all. But a lot of times, when you come into this industry, you have people who say they're there for you, but a lot of times they're just there to get what they can get, or because money is involved. And I'm 26 years old, and so many times I've looked around and I've noticed that everybody who started with me, they are gone. And nobody was there to help me clean it up. So I had to do it all by myself.
But I think there's a way to do that without making people feel less than or making people feel ashamed about whatever it is that she's asking them. And Wendy really didn't have any type of filter when it came to talking to these celebrities or when it came to covering hot topics. She had no filter at all. And, you know, some people liked it, hence why her show was so successful, hence why she was so successful in this industry. But there was also some people that just felt like it was too much. Like, it was just too much negativity and they didn't want to feed into it or consume that type of media, which, listen, I mean, that's your prerogative. And so there's a lot of people who just didn't fuck with her. You can imagine there were also a lot of celebrities who did not fuck with her because of either something that she said about them in the past or, you know, the way that she interviewed them in the past. Like, people have had their different reasons for why they don't mess with Wendy Williams like that. And so, yeah, Wendy Williams is literally one of the most controversial figures in entertainment. And as of the past couple of years, we've seen almost the decline of her career. So like I said, she's had a successful talk show for literally years and years. And as, you know, the seasons were going on, you little by little saw her, not only just her career, but just her life in general start to decline. And it was actually really sad to see. I feel like the first little glimpse of this that we saw was when she was in that, I think it was like that Halloween episode, and she dressed up as a Statue of Liberty and she literally passed out on camera. And that was kind of the first sign that we got that something was off, something was wrong with her health. And I believe that's when she had came out and announced that she had Graves' disease. And it's like, okay, so she has some health stuff going on, right? And my apologies if I don't get the exact order of events correct. I'm kind of just speaking from the top of my head, but I want to say it was then after that all the stuff for her husband came out, right? Like, obviously it had came out that her husband Kevin Hunter cheated on Wendy, and not only did he cheat on Wendy, he had a whole baby on her.
He breathes hard, buries his head in his hand. He's like, what? It's 11 o'clock at night, get out of here. He said, I have something to tell you. I said, what, your bitch had a baby? He said, yes. I said, okay, it's time to divorce. That was it. And then there is no going back. There was not even a thought. There's not a marriage counselor that can help. I don't care about her. I don't care about the baby. And I don't care about him. Bye.
If you look at the decline of my aunt, it happened after her divorce. I'm not the biggest fan of my uncle, but he was making sure she showed up on time, sober and ready to work. Her doing the show is half of the battle. Getting to the show is the real battle.
Now, there's rumors speculating that Kevin had been cheating on Wendy the entire time, and that she low-key either knew about it or suspected it, but she didn't really do anything about it. Like, she still, you know, stayed loyal to her husband. And that her one deal breaker was if he impregnated someone else, right? Like, if you have a child on me, that's something that I can't forgive. And that essentially is what happened. And so that led to them getting a divorce. Everybody was just, you know, like, oh my gosh. And I mean, I feel like some people, like, they weren't surprised, but they kind of were surprised because, again, Kevin apparently had been known to do Wendy dirty behind the scenes, but I guess him having a child was just like the final straw, and Wendy just didn't want to deal with that anymore. And so you see the decline of her marriage. You start to see a little bit of her health issues popping up. Then next thing you know, like in her final season, I want to say, Wendy doesn't show up to work. And in the several years that she, you know, was doing the show, actually, let me look it up real fast to see, because like I said, Wendy has been on the air for the longest time. Yeah, Wendy had 14 seasons, and the show started in 2008. That was 16 years ago that the Wendy Williams show was first on the air, and like I said, they just continued to go and go after that. And so in her final season, they started kind of bringing in other people, right? And they basically said that, like, oh, like, Wendy is trying to get herself together, she's trying to improve her health so she can come back to her chair, her infamous pink chair. And so in the meantime, while she's getting herself together, we're gonna bring on guest hosts, and that's when you see them bring a lot of people in. I remember specifically they had brought in Nick Cannon, which that one was you know, I didn't mind him too much, but again, just for the vibe of that show, I just felt like it wasn't really that big of a fit. I believe they brought on Sherry Shepherd to guest co-host, which I believe led her into getting her own show. But yeah, they brought on different people, and you know, long story short, Wendy just ended up not coming back at all, and they had to cancel the show altogether because her health just wasn't getting any better. So of course, this led to people really being concerned. You see news reports here and there about her health declining, and you know, her son trying to, you know, get involved to help her, and you know, there's a lot going on with Wendy, her family, and in recent news there's been a lot going on with her guardianship and her money, because apparently I believe it's Wells Fargo is the bank that she has a lot of her money tied to. They basically froze her account because they were saying that she, I guess, isn't equipped or mentally there to have access to this money, so they put her account on hold. But then apparently the people that do have access to her money, they've been mishandling it. And then also apparently the person that is her guardian, kind of similar to Britney Spears, how she had a guardian, she was like under a conservatorship. It's kind of the same thing with Wendy. Apparently this person that does have guardianship over her is just some like random white lady that apparently has ties to the judge that made this decision. It's a lot. It's a lot of different things. There's a lot of different moving parts. But all in all, as of today, Wendy Williams she's not doing well. It appears, right? It appears that she's not doing well, and we see that play out in this new documentary on Lifetime, where it literally shows Wendy struggling. It shows her kind of just, you know, on the decline. And a lot of people have had speculations about this documentary and the intent behind it. You know, how involved was she in this documentary? Is this something that she would have approved of if she was in her right state of mind? Is she currently okay with this documentary being out? People are saying that she might have done this documentary out of desperation for money because she doesn't have access to her money right now. So was this her way of making income until she can get her bank account, you know, unfrozen? Like it's a lot going on, right? And so basically everyone online has been talking about the decline of Wendy Williams, you know, her health, her career, and whether or not this is her karma. I've been seeing that circulate online a lot. Is everything that's happening to her in terms of her health and her losing her show and just losing everything damn near, is this her karma for how she has treated people, for how she has talked about people?
I've been seeing people posting left and right about how sorry they feel for Wendy Williams, and personally, all I feel is indifference. I don't feel no empathy or sympathy when I'm looking at like all the stuff that she's going through. This is somebody who spent years of their life making a career off of talking trash about other people's lives. She would talk about people's abusive relationships, people's like affairs, like all the same situations that y'all are feeling so bad for her. She would bust other people's business wide open and kiki about it on the show. This woman lived in a glass house her whole career and just didn't do nothing but catapult stones. She has rarely handled any of these people's vulnerable situations with not a lick of empathy, hence why so many people cannot stand her. She literally made a living off of taking people's lives and turning it into shock value and like hot tea. Y'all be asking why people never get theirs, and then when people get theirs, y'all be feeling sorry for them, and I don't understand it.
It's a rare thing where we actually get to see karma in action, and I think this is one of those things. For sure, send as much prayers, love, and attention you want to her spirit, to who she is. But God is truly in control, and no matter how much you pray, some things are inevitable. And with the type of work that she did, it was only a matter of time before she got what she put out. This is years and years and years of her doing the type of work she does, breaking up homes, destroying people's realities, all kinds of stuff that she did proudly on her couch and her podcast, from what I understand. Now, I'm not saying that I'm happy about what's going on. I'm just saying that there's a reason. Everything has a reason behind it. And you can't save everyone because you don't know what they did behind closed doors that allows them to deserve certain things.
Do y'all remember when Wendy Williams took it upon herself to report on someone's death, but instead of reporting on their death, she focused on the fact that they had more TikTok followers than her? Or maybe when she had Fantasia as a guest on her show, And she made Fantasia feel bad about attempting to kill herself, saying, "Did you think about your daughter?" Or one of the multiple times she wished death on people on her show. Or one of the multiple times she mocked sexual abuse victims. Or one of the multiple times she's outed queer people. Or one of the multiple times she talked ill on other people's bodies while being shaped the way she is. You can say that she just does her job, but you can't argue that she isn't a bad person, and you can't argue that bad people don't deserve bad things. I personally don't feel bad about the fact that she got dementia. I don't feel bad about it at all. I wouldn't wish it on anyone the way that she's wished a lot of things on a lot of people. But, I mean, certainly don't feel bad about it.
And I really wanted to get into this conversation because I think it's a very interesting conversation to have. And I feel like I have a very unique opinion on it. And so I'm curious to know how other people feel on this topic and if anybody agrees with, you know, how I view a situation like this and whether or not you can deem it as karma. Now, first things first, people saying that this is Wendy Williams' karma. When it comes to karma, and I've said this here and there on the channel in different videos, if you've been here for a while, you've probably heard me say that I don't really believe in karma. And just diving into that a little bit deeper, right? For me, I'm just speaking for me. I have not seen karma play out the way that I've seen it play out for others. And so for me, it's less about is karma real or not, and more so I just never seen karma play out for me. And look, I know people are gonna say like, oh well, when it comes to karma, like it's normally something that you can't even predict, or it's something that someone could be dealing with behind the scenes, and that's cool and everything. But whenever I've heard people, like friends of mine, talk about how someone did them really dirty and X amount of years later this said thing happened, like they were actually able to see, even if it was from a distance, right? Even if it was from them hearing it from somebody else, they were able to witness karma play out against the people that had done them wrong and done them dirty. I personally have yet to see that happen ever. I guess when it comes to just that specific thing of, I've known of people who, just in general, like even without me being involved, I've known of people throughout my life who just are not good people, and they treat people bad, they lie, they steal, they do all the horrible things. But then you look at what they have, and it's just, it doesn't feel like karma's really playing out for them. And again, there's different ways that karma can play out, but like I said, I feel like in order for it to really be karma, like it has to really like hit, you know what I mean? Like, and I also feel like it has to feel like karma to the person that it happened to, you know what I mean? So let's say someone did something to me and that person's card got declined at Target. Sure, you could look at that as, oh, that's their karma. But for me, it's like, I don't know. That happens every day. Like we're not, let me not say it happens every day. That's a normal occurrence, right? I'm not looking at that as, oh yeah, that's their karma for doing this horrible thing to me. But I don't know. For me, it's like, I've sat back and I've watched people either mistreat other people or mistreat me. I've had a lot of people do me dirty and cause me a lot of mental and emotional pain. And I have yet to, and again, not that I wish bad on anybody, and I will also get to that later. I don't wish bad on anybody. But when we talk about karma and, you know, oh, like don't do me dirty or don't cross me because it's going to come back to you. I have yet to actually see that happen firsthand for me, right? Like I've seen people who have done me wrong, done me dirty, go on to do great things. I've seen them get opportunities that I never got. Like I've literally sat back and watched people who literally destroyed me mentally or broke my heart into a million pieces. And I'm sitting back and watching them live out all of my goals and all of my dreams. And I'm not gonna lie, I still to a certain extent feel that way. Like I feel like here's what I'll say. I know people who have done horrible things to get to where they are. Like I know people who and you could argue whether or not this is like a horrible thing, quote unquote, but like I'm just using like a surface level example. Like I know people who have lied on their resume, like have said that they worked certain places, held certain positions. They never even walked into these establishments. And because of the lies that they put on their resume, they're now like on their way to making like 100K, right? Or they advanced in their career further than I have. Someone that's been very honest on my resume. I don't lie. I don't, like I've never lied on my resume. way. I've never like changed my name to make it sound more white. And again, if you do those things, I'm not even knocking you, because at this point in this climate and this economy, you got to do what you got to do, right? And if you got bills to pay, people to take care of, if you got to change your name to something else, or if you got to add that you worked at such and such for X amount of time to get your foot in the door to make money, whatever. do what you gotta do. So I'm not even saying that specifically is like such a, oh my god, that's just so horrible. But what I am saying is that I've seen people like do like little things here and there, tell white lies, or just again treat people bad, use people, abuse people. I've literally have seen people who just haven't treated other people well, or just aren't good people in society, and I'll see them take off, and it, from the outside looking in, at least, it just seems like they have all the things. Like, they have the career, they have the money, they have the social life, they have the, you know what I'm saying, like they have, at least I guess this is a very like personal thing for me. I don't want to speak for everybody, and I don't want to speak generally. This is just me and why I don't feed into the whole karma thing, or people are gonna get their get back, because it's just, for me, I have yet to see that play out. I have sat back and watched people who literally did me so wrong, getting jobs before I do, getting better opportunities before I do, have a much easier time making friends and having a social life than I do. Or even just like with men, like I've had men do me dirty, and whether it be them lying, them mistreating me, them leading me on, and at the end of that, it's like, oh, they got to just move on and be with somebody and be happy in a relationship, while I'm over here heartbroken and depressed and trying to get myself together, and I'm having a hard time dating. Like, it's just, you know, like, long story short, life life has not been fair. I know people say that all the time, that like, oh, life isn't fair. It's not, and it's not that I really expect it to be, but I have yet to see anybody that I feel deserves some type of karma for what they put me through, or what they've put other people through. I have yet to see that actually play out. So that's why I don't really feed into the whole karma thing, because I've seen more often than not good people in this world getting played, getting done dirty, not getting certain opportunities, and them struggling. And I've seen more often than not people who are horrible, and people who lie, people who are very selfish, people who take advantage of other people. I've seen them get further ahead in life than the people that are quote unquote good. I've seen that more often than not. So that's why my perception of karma is so skewed, because I'm like, it seems like being a good person in this world doesn't even really get you far. And we see that now with all of these celebrities being exposed for doing horrible things behind the scenes. It's like you have these super successful people that got millions of dollars, all these businesses, just living the life, but look at all of the horrible things they did to get to where they are. You know what I mean? And so that's why with karma, I'm like, life is just gonna play out the way it's supposed to play out, and I can't get into that mindset of like, oh well, you know, God will take care of them. I'm not gonna worry, because you know they're gonna be on their downfall soon, and I just can't. I can't think of it that way. I just have to think, okay, this sucks, right? This person that, in my opinion, doesn't deserve all of these great things happening to them because of what they did to get there. I can't get fixated on that and sit there and like wait or hope that, you know, it's all gonna be taken from them, or that there's gonna be some type of like karma or payback that's gonna happen. I at this point, it is what it is. You know, I take my L and I just continue to move forward. But I say all that to say, right, let's say you are somebody that does believe in karma, which a lot of people do. Right? People believe, you know, what goes around comes around. This is where I will kind of believe in, you know, what goes around comes around to a certain extent. There are certain lines and certain boundaries that I refuse to cross. There's two things in particular that I don't play around with, and in terms of speaking ill on somebody or wishing something on somebody, and that's sickness and death. I don't play with that. I don't play with that at all. I don't play around with not only just wishing for someone to be sick or to lose their life, but I also don't believe in rejoicing in that. I don't believe in saying that that person deserves that. To say that somebody deserves to get sick, to say that someone deserves to lose their life, I think for me, it's a little much. it's a line that I don't want to cross. I don't want to even play around with that, because I'm like, if this whole karma thing is real, that's not something that I want to play around with, because that's not something that I would want to come back on me. And it's funny because the people that are speaking to this as like, oh, this is Wendy Williams karma, this is something that she deserves. Who are you to say if someone deserves to fall ill or to lose their life? The reason why I'm bringing up like losing your life is because I'm also thinking about the whole Kevin Samuels situation, right? For those of y'all who don't know, but I'm sure you do at this point, Kevin Samuels was somebody that was also, he gained a lot of popularity, on social media. He basically had like this podcast and this platform where he would give like relationship advice, but the advice that he gave was very condescending, was very misogynistic, and yes, you could argue that there were a few times there were a few moments where Kevin Samuels would say something of substance and he would say things that you could take, but all in all, his advice was very brash, was very harsh, and was not constructive. Sometimes he gave constructive criticism, but there were other times where he would just go on his platform to tear people down. Yes, a lot of the clips that went viral was him tearing women down, but I will say there were also clips of him, tearing down men as well, but obviously those didn't go viral. What went viral was him tearing down women, but and I don't know what the exact ratio is either in terms of if he came after women more than men. I don't know. I'm just going off of what I've seen on social media, but I am aware that he went after both genders.
Let's be realistic, Samuel. It's about value.
Yeah, and your value is low.
Oh, wow. And how do you know that? You're not
because you're 5'4" and 200 pounds.
Okay.
And 37 years old with 2 kids. That's how I know. In Kentucky.
Okay. That's your opinion.
It's not my opinion.
You never seen my body before, so you just
I don't have to see your body. I know you're 5'4" and almost 200 pounds with 2 kids in Kentucky. And I see your picture.
You just say
and I'm listening to how you talk. And I'm listening to your energy. I'm listening to your tone. I'm listening to your relationships. See, what it is, you ladies don't like when somebody is this direct with you. Honest. I got no dog in this fight. I had a woman on here earlier, and I told her she was absolutely gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't trying to screw you. You ain't giving me no money. What am I getting out of this?
Nothing.
So why do I have to lie? And how many hours were you working at this company?
Maybe I'll say 36, depending on the other job as well, because I was working both of them at the same time.
Okay, so you haven't even had a full-time job. You've never held full-time employment. So how do you go from not having full-time employment to entrepreneur? There's no free money. Mm-hmm. There's no get rich quick. You need to go to McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, Popeyes, Burger King, Big Lots, Kroger. You need to go pick up whatever job you can to work. Grab your balls and become a man. You got to get your own place, dude. Turn off YouTube. Get in the world. Because you can't... Okay, dude. No. You're still trying to think of ways to not do it. You want to do it. You don't want to get your hands dirty. That's what it is with a lot of you young guys. You don't want to get your hands dirty. That's hard. That sounds like work. So should I do it this way? No. You should get your ass up tomorrow and go get a job. Because you're on the channel of an image consultant, right?
Yep.
I talk about men trying to become the best version of themselves, get themselves into the top 10% of men. And dude, you haven't even got into manhood yet. Your mother needs to put you out. You're a physically healthy 25-year-old man living in your mama house. So to tell me you don't have a girlfriend because you're focusing on your purpose, that's some YouTube bullshit. You need to get out of your mother's house and go to work. You need to be gone by November.
So even graduate school then?
Oh, man, I'm tired. No, graduate school in what, man? Okay, go into more debt for sports management, which is going to do what? It ain't doing nothing now.
People were saying that Kevin Samuels, he really went after the black community. People were saying that he destroyed the black community. People were saying that the reason why today and when I say the black community, I mean like this whole men versus women gender war stuff, right? Like we've been talking about this for a minute, how there's so many gender wars going on. You have black men and black women just going at each other's throats when it comes to pretty much every single relationship topic that you can think of. Anything that gets brought up, immediately it's the men are attacking women women and the women are attacking men and no one is seeing eye to eye. And a lot of people argue that mindset came from a Kevin Samuels who was kind of fueling that, right? And so a lot of people feel like Kevin Samuels did a lot of damage in the black community. And so when he passed away, a lot of people were rejoicing in the fact that he had passed away. People literally were like, oh, finally, like maybe we can extract the heal and move on. Like people were happy about him passing away. And that never sat right with me. You can say what you want about Kevin Samuels and how problematic he was, but I could never sit here and feel any type of positive emotion from someone passing away, especially when, let's be real, right? Like, sure, he could have contributed to a lot of the mindset shifts that are happening right now in dating culture, but this man was literally just a man with the podcast mic that would talk and say things. I'm not gonna sit there and wish ill on him, and nor am I going to celebrate his passing. Now, am I sitting here shedding a tear and crying because Kevin Samuels passed away? No. And I'm not saying that you have to do that either. I'm not saying that you have to feel remorse. I'm not saying that you have to feel sadness and compassion necessarily. But what I am saying is that to sit there and be happy or to say that he deserved for that to happen to him, I think that's crossing a line here. And like I said, there are some horrible people out here doing horrible things, but again, it's like with Kevin Samuels, he was saying things that were problematic, he was saying things that were hurtful, right? And then with Wendy Williams, it's like, yeah, she's messy, she spreads rumors, she feeds into drama, she is drama, right? But to go as far as to say that these people deserved for these things to happen to them, I don't know, something don't sit right with me saying that. I don't feel right saying, oh, this she deserves this.
Wendy Williams is not getting the karma that you guys are saying that she deserves. What I want you to understand is that this woman's mental health is clearly declining right before our eyes, and you're calling it karma. See, if that's the case, your bald-headed ass mamas and grandmas that talk shit about your whole family and you behind your back deserve karma for what they do. But what she was doing was giving us information that was happening before our eyes. She was talking about situations that we could see ourselves, okay? And she did a great job of it. Now, there were times where it could be a little messy, which everybody is, but she was doing it on television. I guess that's the only difference. Yeah, but I do not think it's funny to see this woman's not only privacy, but mental health broadcasted on television, and you guys are mocking her. It's sad. Wendy Williams is an icon and always will be an icon, and no one, not one person on this planet can take that away from her, okay? Because guess what? She had you guys talking. That's what she was supposed to do, okay? No one on daytime TV right now and before was doing what she was doing, and people are trying to achieve that level of success, okay? That woman had a gift, the gift of gab. And you guys are saying that I can't wrap my head around it. But I want to say this to the Wendy Williams. I love you unconditionally, bitch. You a bad bitch and always will be, okay? No one can give me tea like you, baby. Get well soon, bitch, okay? Because I'm ready for hot topics. How you doing?
Okay, I have to address this. So this comment says, am I the only one who doesn't feel bad for what's happening to her? It's karma. This is not the only comment that I'm reading like this. I'm actually reading quite a few comments that are basically saying, oh, this is what Wendy gets for doing what she did her entire career. This is karma. I don't feel bad for her. Let's keep something in mind. It's actually really making me mad because it's just so nasty. Let's keep in mind a few things. First of all, Wendy Williams is 59 years old. Okay, she's almost 60. There's that. 2, did Wendy Williams drag people? Did Wendy Williams say things about people that were provocative, that were sometimes honestly nasty? Yes, but that was her job. That was her brand. She wouldn't be Wendy Williams had she not done all of that. And again, it was her job. She had a talk show. She had a job to do. I am not the biggest Wendy Williams fan. Trust me, I am not. I've rarely watch the show. I would actually only usually watch like the YouTube clips or YouTube snippets. But comments like this are just really pissing me off. Put yourself in the shoes of like her son and it's your mom or it's your family member that's going through this? Would you really want people saying, oh, it's karma, I don't feel bad, or this is what she gets, she's getting what's coming to her? Come on now, let's stop that. Can we please stop that? Thanks.
Now, you could maybe argue that her career taking a hit could be her karma, because she spent her entire career coming after people and putting down people and feeding into drama. That her career ending, right? Her career not being able to end on a high note, and it just slowly, being taken from her and being looked at, not in the best light. You could argue that that is her karma for, what she did and how she got to where she's at. But I don't know, when it comes to health issues and stuff like that, I just don't play around with that, because again, you never know. You never know what could happen to you. You never know what could happen to a family member. Because imagine if you had a family member that ended up getting the same type of diseases that or illnesses that Wendy Williams got, right? Because again, Wendy Williams, like, she's not like old, but she's older, right? And so imagine you had an older family member that fell ill to the same type of things that Wendy Williams is going through. Like, you're not gonna sit there and say that it's that person's karma. I guess I know that's not the same thing, but it's just, I don't know. I just feel like there is a line when it comes to assigning karma to people, and I just feel like when it comes to that, I don't know, it's a slippery slope, and I just don't know if I feel 100% comfortable saying that Wendy Williams deserves to be sick. That's just, or again, like a Kevin Samuels, he deserved to lose his life. Like, who am I to say that? You cannot like a person and you can acknowledge that this person was not a good person. They were contributing anything positive to society, right? And no, you don't have to feel bad about Wendy Williams. I mean, I feel bad just because I'm just that type of person. Like, I don't like seeing people at their worst like that. And again, as someone that did watch her a lot over the years, it's just sad to see somebody fall from grace that quickly, especially again with everything going on with her husband as well. Like, it's just it's a lot going on with her, and I'm not gonna tell anybody how they should feel, but just for me, like, I just don't feel comfortable. I don't even see how I could be happy about someone's health declining like that. Like even when I see these news stories and stuff where, even if I don't know the person, like I'll see, oh, so-and-so has passed away or so-and-so has this illness, and I'll go into the comment section and I'll see people just either being happy that this is happening to them, or they'll sit there and like make jokes about the fact that someone is sick or someone has passed away. I mean, even with the whole recent situation with Susan, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but the past YouTube CEO, right? A lot of people don't like her because she was one of the main people that I guess was in charge of those really strict YouTube policies that we had to deal with. And a lot of content creators had their channels taken from them, got copyright claimed left and right, and a lot of people's livelihoods were affected by the policies that Susan put in place. It recently came out that her son passed away from a drug overdose. People were literally happy, making jokes, saying that was her karma. And it's just like, again, y'all getting a little bit too comfortable playing around with death like that and illnesses. Like, if you don't like Susan for the stuff that she did with YouTube as a platform, and if you were somebody that was depending on YouTube financially and that got taken from you, had to start over, and you were struggling in real life, I 100% empathize with that and understand why you would have some type of animosity towards her, because that's like a genuine, like, that's personal, you know what I mean? Like, that's a personal thing that you have against this person, and I'm not invalidating that at all. But her son ain't got nothing to do with that. Her son has nothing to do with her and the policies that she made. And so for you to sit there, crack jokes, and say horrible things about her son passing away, it's like, okay, y'all are doing the most. And I understand social media, especially Twitter, like, that's not really a place for positivity and empathy like that. But I say all that to say, I don't believe in celebrating the demise of anybody when it comes to their health. Now, when it comes to someone's career, depending on what they did to get there, all bets are off, right? I mean, we see what's going on with Diddy and all the claims that he's going through and everything that came out about him. Same thing with R. Kelly. Like, a lot of these celebrities, a lot of these artists is coming out that they did horrible things behind the scenes, and now people are no longer supporting them, and now their claim to fame is declining. That I'm all for, right? Like, when you find out that these people are horrible people and you no longer choose to support them, that's completely okay. And I think that that's the route that people should go. Like, if someone is out there putting out content that you don't agree with, then don't engage with the content. Don't support the content. If you have an artist that is doing horrible things behind the scenes, don't listen to their music. Don't support them. Like, that's perfectly fine. But again, if you had like a Diddy or R. Kelly or whoever say it came out that they had some grave illness, I'm not necessarily gonna be sitting here jumping for joy. I'm not gonna be super sad about it either. But to sit there and say like, oh, well, they deserve it, this is their karma, I don't know, y'all. It's a little, to me, it's just a little too far. It's a little too far. And so for Wendy, you know, again, I do hate to see her like this. I want to wish her well and that she'll get better. It just seems like as time goes on, I don't know, there's a lot of conflicting reports. There's reports 1 minute saying that she's improving and she's feeling better and, you know, all that. And then the next minute you're hearing, oh, she has another illness, or she's going through it, or like her alcoholism is picking up. Like, you're just hearing so many different things about her. And I also don't feel like she has like the right support system around her either. That's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's sad to see Wendy go out like this. It really is. To see somebody that, you know, again, was very successful to just be on the deal. It's just sad. Like, whether or not you feel like it's deserved or not, or it should be happening, it's still sad all around. And so yeah, I don't know. Those are my thoughts on the whole situation. Let me know in the comments down below if you believe this is Wendy Williams karma, if you feel like this is something that was bound to happen because of everything that she did to other people, or do you feel like people are taking it too far by saying that it's her karma and that she deserves it? Do you feel like this is just, you know, an unfortunate situation that happened to her that doesn't really correlate to what she did per se, but it's just a sad thing that happened? Let me know your overall thoughts in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys go ahead, give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.